I'm Jared from DigitalRayen Photography. Thank you so much for taking the time to visit my YouTube channel. This is a very new endeavor for me, as I have stuck to still images for the last 8 years. On this page, I'll be posting tutorials, action from photo shoots, model shoots, drone videos, and other types of creative endeavors. I got into photography back in 2010 while I was deployed in Iraq. I hated taking photos before then. Back when I was a kid, my parents did everything they could to try to get me into photography. But for some reason, I could not grasp why someone would want to waste their time lugging around a camera instead of living in the moment that they had given to them. So I had a little Panasonic point shoot camera, and I'm sitting on the back of a Chinook and flying over Iraq, going to, I think it was Baghdad. And one of the crew members had his feet hanging over the edge of the back of the helicopter. And I just thought it was the coolest looking thing that I'd seen. So I really wanted to be able to capture that moment because it was just something that was really neat and something unique and not something that I thought I was going to get a whole lot of opportunities to be able to see. So I stood up, snapped a little quick picture of it, and then when I was able to get back to where I was stationed at, got my laptop out, pulled the picture up, and I was hooked. I was so in love with one photo that it made me decide that this is what I wanted to do with my life. And you can see now this is the photo that I took, and it's just a guy doing his job. Nothing super fancy about it, super special about it, but it touched me, and I fell in love, got hooked, and this is what I do now. So when I got back home, I got myself a DSLR, and it was a Canon T2i. So it's been a little while. I didn't know anything about photography. I didn't know full frame. I didn't know crop sensor. I didn't know anything. All I knew was that I needed a camera and that this is what I wanted to do. So I got that, took my little kit lens, and just traveled all over for 2 years shooting JPEGs in auto because I knew nothing about manual mode and shooting raw and the things that you're able to capture once you really open up and learn the art form and not just pressing a button. Looking back at the original images that I took, I'm just so happy that somebody decided to keep rooting me on, to keep cheering me on and encourage me because I was not good at all. I never intended to shoot people. So I only ever wanted to do landscapes. I only ever wanted to do the natural world and the way that I saw things, like take this little guy and put him out someplace and think it was cool. And that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to go out to the mountains. I wanted to go out to the oceans. I wanted to go everywhere that this country could provide me, everywhere that I could travel overseas when I was given an opportunity, and never wanted to do people. People to me, that was drama, that was high fashion, that was just something that I was never going to do. And then one day in 2013, this girl named Brittany messages me on Facebook and says, "Hey, I love your photography. I'd love for you to shoot me." And I don't know why. I don't know what in the world she saw in the photos that I was doing. But we went out, we did a photo shoot, and I decided from then on, I was shooting people. Now, my first love and my greatest love will always be landscape photography. But something about shooting with a model, shooting a wedding, shooting a family, shooting people just woke me up to wanting to be a part of that moment in time and that event in someone's life. And I've done so many photo shoots now, and I'm learning every day. Because once you stop learning, you've stopped trying. If you get stuck in a certain rut, and this is what I do, and this is the same thing, it works for people, it'll get you paid. But if you stop learning, you might as well just stop, and that goes for everything in life. Once you think that you're the king of the mountain and that you're amazing, everybody else is just going to pass you by. So I named myself DigitalRayen Photography instead of my name or anything like that. Um, Mainly because when I started it out as a business venture or whatever, I didn't think that my name was good enough to go on it. And another fun thing with me is that since I was 15, I've done professional wrestling, and I don't look like it now, and can't really do it now because I'm old and broken. But my wrestling name was Crimson Rain, and so when I started, it was Crimson Rain Imagery, and over some tweaking and stuff, it became Digital Rain. It's not Digital Raven for everybody that wants to keep calling it that. Digital Rain, and it was just a play on my pro wrestling name. And then my logo, it's changed over the years, and this is what it looks like now. And you'll be able to see that in the camera, there's a semicolon. And the reason for the semicolon is, as most combat veterans wind up one shape, way, form, or another, I was also diagnosed with PTSD. And I've had really good days, and I've had really bad days, and I've had some mediocre days in the middle. Um, but photography and picking up my camera and just going out and shooting anything allows me to get out of the valleys and to try to go back up higher to the peaks. And so I use my photography as a method to control my PTSD, as a method to also bring that knowledge to other people. Because if you know the story of the semicolon, it's that, don't try to kill yourself, don't take that burden on, don't do those kinds of things. And remember that your story isn't over, there's no period. The semicolon just begins the rest. So with my photography, it reminds me that the story's not written. And not only is the story not written, but I have the ability to be here and I have the ability to capture that story. The amazing thing about photography isn't so much that you get to capture a moment in time, it's that you get to forever create a moment in time. So, whereas beautiful landscape, beautiful sunset, you capture that and you're able to show somebody. But then when you bring a model into something or a wedding or a family, it's not a spontaneous moment that just happened, even though sometimes you'll get some spontaneous stuff. But you are actually creating a moment. It's yours, it's whatever your subject is, it's a moment that you're creating. And to me, that's just a very amazing feeling, a very amazing thing to be a part of. So, everybody that has been a part of this journey with me, thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. I appreciate you allowing me to take your photos and the crazy edits and the climb on top of this thing and that thing and just the fun that I've been able to have with this life that you've allowed me to have. And I will forever be grateful. Thank you for supporting my channel and for just checking it out. Thank you for checking out my photography. Thank you for dealing with this videography thing that I'm trying to get into. A link to my portfolio page will be down in the comment section. And if you could, please give me a subscribe here on YouTube so that I can get my URL with my actual name on it. Um, but it allows me to interact, and I'd like to know, like, what kind of tutorials do you guys want? What footage do you want to see? Do you want um, techniques on how to reduce redness in skin? Do you want lighting techniques? More out in the field stuff, or more editing, or a combination of everything? Um, because I want to help. I want somebody else to be able to continue doing their story, and I want to, even in the minutest part, be able to be a part of your story. So once again, thank you. Have a wonderful day.